A guided video tour. New Register House. National Records of Scotland.
Welcome to National Records of Scotland's new Register House.
A cream stone building.
Built with the purpose of housing the records of Scotland's births, deaths and marriages. It is a living repository of Scotland's people and their history.
Shelves filled with books.
The site chosen for this building is beside Gabriel's Road and General Register House, the latter designed and built by Robert Adam almost 100 years earlier to house the nation's archives.
An old map.
The site had already been acquired in 1859 by the Register House trustees. The architect Robert Matheson, who was responsible for government buildings at the time, was charged with designing the new Register House.
Named buildings on the map.
The Messenger's Lodge, home of the Register House Messenger, and the two 4-storey tenements on site were demolished in the winter of 1858 to 1859 to create room for the new building.
A corner of the elegant building.
Matheson, a respected architect who'd undertaken extensive works at the Palace of Holyrood House, chose to employ an Italianate or Renaissance style. The column's centrepiece helps to give it the character of a public building. It is constructed from sandstone taken from the Binney Quarries not far from Edinburgh.
Open wooden front doors.
Inside, the office rooms were kept simple. However, the central dome of the building, where the registers are stored, is very special.
Moving through a narrow corridor into a large high round chamber with 4 levels of shelving and books all around its walls. At the top, arched windows sit beneath a patterned domed roof.
On the 1st of January 1855, it became compulsory for everyone in Scotland to register births, deaths and marriages with their local registrar. In order to fully record and store the life events of every individual, a purpose-built storage room was needed. The new Register House Dome. It was completed in 1862. However, other areas of the building were first occupied in 1861. The building was fully completed in 1863, following the addition of offices to each floor on the north side. Each floor of the dome has colour-coded volumes. The red are births, deaths are in funereal black, and marriage volumes were bound in green, as this was considered to be a lucky colour. The top floor houses census records which are over 100 years old and open to public inspection. There are over 500,000 volumes on these shelves, and more are added every year. As these books record the written names and details of the people of Scotland, some staff call this place the Well of Souls.
Someone wearing gloves carefully turns the page of a record book.
Before 1855, local ministers recorded the life events of Scotland's population in old parish registers. These are the greatest treasures in New Register House. We hold around 3,500 volumes in total, with the oldest dating from 1553 in the parish of Errol, near Perth.
Neat handwriting on the lined pages.
Before arriving here, many of these books were damaged, lost, or left incomplete. What records do survive, however, contain a wealth of information for genealogists and other researchers.
A black and white photograph of a researcher in the chamber.
In the past, researchers visiting New Register House ordered out original volumes, a time-consuming process and one that was not friendly to the records in the long term. The information from the documents was later made available through microfiche and microfilm cassettes for visitors to consult. Many of the old parish registers have been rebound or stored in acid-free folders to protect them for future generations. We have digitised this material, and today you can search for, view and save the records to your computer or personal device from anywhere in the world via the Scotland's People website.
Looking down into the chamber.
This large and striking circular chamber is over 27 metres, 90 feet high, and is of considerable interest as a piece of 19th century functional architecture and structural engineering. It encloses a cast iron book stack with 4 miles or 6.5 kilometres of shelving. Over time, amendments have been added to the original design, such as carpets to cover the metal grated floor and the addition of mesh walls around the inner circle of the dome. Volumes are deliberately shelved and tightly packed as a fire prevention measure. Since 1855, Around 850 registration districts have been closed due to amalgamations and the increasing benefits of computerisation. Today, there are 231 districts in Scotland, operated by 32 Scottish local councils. Each district holds a duplicate set of the same registers held in New Register House, and local registrars can issue extract certificates from these registers. They carry the same standing in law as those held by the National Records of Scotland.
Moving outside to paved gardens.
At one side of New Register House lies the Archivist's Garden, a peaceful hidden spot in the centre of town. Here you will find 57 plant species, all connected in some way to Scotland's collective memory, whether through myth and folklore, heraldry, or association with individual famous Scots.
A footpath winds between flower beds.
Information panels in the garden and on the National Records of Scotland's website can tell you more about this beautiful space.
The Archivist's Garden.
To find out more about National Records of Scotland, our buildings and the records we hold, visit www.nrscotland.gov.uk.
The book closes. National Records of Scotland.